Hi guys, it's Louise here again from Product Review by Lou. I hope you're all doing really well. If I sound quite nasally in this video and a wee bit sick, that is because I am really struggling with hay fever at the moment, but I wanted to get this video up for you anyway, so excuse the sound of my voice. Today, I'm sure you know by the title, I actually want to discuss the Kat von D Dupe that Makeup Revolution have come out with. This is what the product looks like. I have been using this for the last couple of days, and I don't want to get into the whole Kat von D kind of argument that's going on between her and Makeup Revolution at the moment. As an artist, I mean, I can see her point of view. On the other hand, it is great whenever lower brands do go ahead and dupe products and give people who maybe just can't afford a palette at the price of the Kat von D one the opportunity to experience the same shades. In saying that, I'm staying impartial on this and I'm not getting into that debate at all. What I want to talk about is a lot of people are going to be attracted to this palette in particular because it looks exactly like the Kat von D one. And what I wanted to do as a makeup artist was to actually play around with the shadows. And even though this retails for around £8, now I purchased this whenever Superdrug were doing 3 for 2, and I'll link to the Makeup Revolution. It's Tam Beauty are the owners of that, and you can get this palette online. There is a sticker on this that is now the new talc free formula, which is actually quite impressive for a product that you can get cheaply in a chemist, or if you're in America, a drugstore. So opening up the palette, I mean, I own a few Makeup Revolution kits, and one thing that's really naff about this is the packaging, but as long as the products work inside, we can look past that, particularly if it keeps the price point quite low. So these are the shadows here. I actually am wearing not sure, these cameras are the lights, apologies, are washing me out a little bit, and I am wearing this kind of orangey sort of warmer eyeshadows today, and I did a look very quickly with this. If you would like a makeup tutorial maybe using this palette, let me know in the comments below, and that's something I can try and do for you. What I would say is the shadows themselves have actually impressed me. There isn't, I mean, I've used this about 4 times now, and there isn't a whole pile of fallout in comparison to my Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. There's an awful lot of kickback off that, and that's a higher brand product. In here you are getting some really nice colours. These larger pans at the top, really good for putting in the crease and acting as a transition shade. If you're not familiar with the terminology of a transition shade, really eyeshadows are all about creating a shadow in the socket of your eye to give your face more dimension. Sometimes whenever we put on foundation and concealer, and that, you know, we lose the three-dimensionalness of our faces. So that's really where eyeshadows come in. So whenever you hear people talking about transition sort of terminology or putting things in the crease, it's just about creating that natural shadow that would occur with sort of on the eyes or on your face naturally. I find all these shadows to be really pigmented. What I would say is when you're going in with these, if you do decide to purchase this palette, a little tiny bit on a brush. Now, for example, I'll just pick up a random brush here. I mean, you know, say for example I'm going into this kind of orangey shade here. There is a good bit of pigment that picks up in the brush. It is good to tap your brushes off and go in slowly and build up the product. It is buildable. It does blend very well. These are all matte shades. I mean, you're getting the 9 along the bottom, the 3 larger pans across the top. I'll maybe take a photograph of this and put it as an insert, because I feel like my the lighting in here is washing this out a little bit. But this orangey colour here, I mean, it's a great transition colour. And then I went in with that orangey one, a little bit of that one, the brown, and then you've got a brow bone highlighter. And I mean, you can take them in the sort of 3 sections that they're meant to be, or you can mix and match. There are some warmer tones in here for the warmer toned girls. There are definitely cooler tones in here. Overall, I think this is a great palette for the money. You're getting 12 matte shades. This is an all matte palette. it's very unusual for drugstores to do all matte palettes. So I definitely am impressed with this. I was expecting this to be quite cheap and nasty. I'm going to be honest, whenever I went in, I hadn't watched any reviews and I wanted to give this a fair opinion myself. And I'm very impressed. Now, I don't own the Kat von D one. I have swatched it in store. For me, as a makeup artist, I do own a lot of eyeshadows anyway, and the Kat von D one, as beautiful as it is, never drew me enough to go and spend that much money on a palette when I had, you know, hundreds of palettes that had kind of similar shades in it. What I would say is, if you have had your eye on the Kat von D one, this is pretty much an exact dupe. I mean, Makeup Revolution aren't even hiding the fact that they're duping this product. Kat von D one is the Shade and Light palette. This is called the Light and Shade palette. But getting down to the nitty gritty of the palette itself, the pigmentation is definitely here within the palette. Pardon me. The pigmentation is definitely here within the palette. You can create a number of looks on this. Just take it easy when you're going in with your brush, just a quick dab, tap off the excess and go in and build up. It's always easier to add more than it is to take away. But if you're somebody who is starting out in makeup, if you're somebody who is a makeup artist and wants to add more matte shades to your collection, and it's great that you have a variety in such a compact palette, although the packaging isn't that great. You could technically depot these and put them into a Z palette. It's for £8, I think this is a really good buy and a great bargain and a great steal. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen in terms of the whole Makeup Revolution Kat Von D scandal, and if this maybe is taken off the shelves for whatever reason, and it is something that you have been looking at, I definitely wouldn't hesitate. I do recommend this product, and you'll have it in your makeup collection for a really long time, and the pan sizes are great on this. You know, it's going to take you a while to go through this. So all in all, I definitely think the dupe is worth the money. Not getting into the whole scandal behind it, but I definitely think this is a good palette. I like the fact that it's talc free as well. Some people are irritated by that, and talc is a filler product, so it's nice that we're getting other things in here as well. The pigmentation, as I said quite a lot of times before, is definitely there. Just take it easy with it. Don't be like digging in and then going in. It's going to take quite a hard time to blend. I do like the fact that the transition colours, which are ones that I tend to go through really quick in a palette, are in a larger pan size, so this will make this last a good bit longer for you. If you can pick it up on a 3 for 2 offer, or if there's money off, and sometimes places like Superdrug and your various chemists will have these on offer. But as I said, it's sitting at £8 on the Tam Beauty website, and I definitely wouldn't hesitate to pick this up if this is something that you're looking for. Alright folks, well look, I hope you enjoyed that review. Apologies for the sniffliness, as I've said. I am completely dosed with allergies at the moment and I'm feeling very under the weather. But that's it all from me folks. I definitely recommend that you pick up that palette, and I am going to be reviewing the Jeffree Star Androgyny palette soon as well. So if you want to hang around for that, then go ahead and hit the wee subscribe button, and I'll hopefully see you in my next video. Bye guys!